If you're thinking about making a move to the Auburn, Alabama area and you're trying to figure out which neighborhood, which area do I want to be in? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down a very simple formula to help you figure out exactly where you want to be. Let's get started. Auburn, Alabama area. I want you to make sure to go ahead. Hey everyone, Alex Acuff here with eXp Realty and the Acuff Weekly Group. We are a local real estate brokerage here in Auburn, Alabama, and we are so excited you've made it to our page. I get to serve as the lovely broker, qualifying broker, owner of the team, and so we're excited you're here. If this is your first time to our channel and you are thinking about making a move or just curious or kind of just maybe one of my nosy neighbors wanting to watch everything about living in Auburn, please feel free, subscribe, make sure to hit the bell notification. That way you don't miss another video that comes out every single week on our channel here living in Auburn, Alabama. Now in today's video, I'd love for you to leave me a few comments. I'm going to try and create a little bit more of an interactive atmosphere with you, my audience, so we can get to know each other just a little bit better. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down a very simple framework for you to understand, maybe help guide you a little bit and figure out exactly where you want to be and maybe help guide the discussion that we might have. So if you are looking to make the move to the Auburn, Alabama area, and you would like to just schedule a quick 15-20 minute Zoom call with me or one of my amazing agent partners on the team, please feel free to reach out to me. Here's my contact information right here on the screen. So we are here for you to help make that move nice and simple. And you know what? Even if you're just curious and you're thinking about making a move within the next 5 years, trust me, let's go ahead and have that conversation. So in today's video, let's get rocking and rolling. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about proximity. And proximity is about what do you need to be close to, right? That's really the first question that we need to be asking ourselves is, what do we need to be close to? Because if you're going to buy a home, we got to be where you need to be, right? That makes a whole lot of sense. So if you're working at Auburn University, it could mean that you want to live really close to Auburn University. You may say, Alex, I don't like to drive. I want to walk or ride the bike. So we're going to talk about neighborhoods like Cary Woods. We're going to talk about areas off of South Gay Street. We're going to talk about the price budget there and kind of what you get for the money and what neighborhoods look like. Are there any amenities? Are there any public amenities? What am I around? Are there college kids living next to me? Do the neighbors Airbnb their home? These are some valid questions to ask, especially if you're wanting to live near Auburn University. Oh, and by the way, do you want a house or do you want a condo or do you want a townhome, right? So we're thinking about that proximity. Maybe you work in Montgomery, but you want to live in Auburn, maybe for the school districts. Very common. We work with a lot of people that live on the west side of town or near the highway down off of 85. So some areas, some neighborhoods, maybe like Mims Trail, or if you want to be a little bit further on the east side of Auburn, you could be over off of like Champions in that little area, maybe White Oaks over in the Bent Creek area. There's some great neighborhoods in that location. So your proximity is something that we need to really start to understand. You know, am I commuting to the airport and what does it look like? So we could show you a couple different areas and what that commute looks like from Auburn, not to the Auburn airport, but actually to Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta. You'd be surprised how many pilots actually live and work out of Auburn. And there's some famous influencers that actually live in Auburn that actually commute to Hartsfield-Jackson that fly international quite often. So we do have quite a mix of people that are living here for different reasons, and their proximity and their timing means everything to them, and that's why they're here. So we want to understand, like, are you an outdoorsy person? Do you need to be near places like Chillicothe where you can go out and walk and do trail running or ride your bike, do some mountain biking? Maybe you like to do some jumps. Not really for me, but it may be for you. So maybe something like Chillicothe might be a big appeal for you, or maybe you want to be closer to things like East Alabama Medical Center. Or if you didn't know, the East Alabama Medical Center is also partnered with Auburn University to open up the Auburn Medical Pavilion that actually has an ER on the west side of Auburn and on the west side of campus. So you want to make sure you understand your proximity. So step 2 is really your access to amenities. So that kind of goes along with what we're talking about here, not just proximity to work, but proximity to the amenities that you want. And we can kind of break down Auburn in this way. You may understand it from where you currently live, because you may live in a much bigger town or a much smaller town. So let me help you understand, what does it look like from the big box side and of how you can really think of Auburn in tiers, okay? Now, Auburn is a Publix town, so let me get into this. So Publix town is like almost every part of Auburn is quickly accessible to a Publix. If you haven't been to Publix, if you're not from the South, you may not know what Publix is, but Publix is our grocery store, is one of our grocery stores. There's like the Walmart, there's the Kroger, and then there's the Publix. So if you, I kind of think of them as in like customer service levels and kind of who you end up dealing with, and honestly kind of cleanliness of the grocery store, because I am a grocery person. So I can tell you all about groceries and where to go, where not to go, some of the local butchers and places to get good meat. So we've got those. So your access to amenities, you could be wanting to be more like Target. You want to go to Target, readily buy stuff from Target, go do pickup orders. What we do, we have a Target down in Tigertown, which is located right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of Auburn and Opelika. So super convenient. You're really, even if you live on the east side of Opelika or on the west side of Auburn, which is really the farthest away from the Target, you're only about 15 minutes away from the Target in the middle. So it doesn't matter if you're living in Auburn and Opelika, your commute times are going to be just about the same to Target, which is technically in Opelika, which is where Tigertown is located off of Highway 280 and 85. So you'll find that at that major intersection where there's a couple different Starbucks, your Dick's Sporting Goods, your big box outlet stores, stuff like that. Now, Costco. Now, if you're a Costco person, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You will have to drive to Montgomery to go to Costco. We do not have a Costco, but we do have a Sam's in Auburn. So just thinking about your amenities and where people may be regularly shopping, especially if you're from a much larger area, you may be going, Alex, we go to Costco all the time. That's where we go for everything. We love the pricing. We love when we get there. Well, unfortunately, you may have to go to Montgomery, or if you really are feeling like doing a day trip, you can go to Birmingham or Atlanta, and you can go to Costco. You can also go to Trader Joe's and maybe IKEA if you want to go there. So yes, Costco is going to be outside of the tier of Auburn. So we're just not big enough to have a Costco. Healthcare, schools, sports facilities that are also important amenities to you. Auburn does have a strong East Alabama medical hub, which is located just north of Tigertown off of 280. Very convenient for places like National Village and some of these 55 plus communities. So if having medical resources closer to you is important, I would say stick along that corridor right there off of 280. Now over in Auburn University, I already did mention this, but the Auburn Medical Pavilion does have a freestanding ER, also has an apothecary in there. So if you need to pick up your meds there, you can do that there. But yes, unfortunately, I actually had to visit the ER recently, and it is wonderful. They're fast and they do a great job. So step 3 is type of community, right? So Auburn offers a little bit of everything here when it comes to urban, suburban, small town charm. So let's just kind of get into those and break them down for you. So you've got your urban walkable area, which is really going to be your downtown Auburn University, your traditional older homes around Auburn University. You've got your condo complexes in this little district around Auburn University. So there's a lot of different condos. There's several smaller communities that you'll find. There are some new construction ones that also allow for short-term rentals. So if that's an investment that you're looking into, I would say looking at that urban core area is a good place for you. Or if you just want to be in the mix, if you don't mind some noise, you don't mind some college kids, you like some livelihood around you, I think downtown is a wonderful place to be. Now, you may say, Alex, that is not for me. That was maybe when I was younger. I've grown up. I've started a family. I want to live in a neighborhood. I want a neighborhood pool. I want it to be quiet at night. I don't want a lot of traffic. Okay, I got you. I got you big time. So we've got the suburban neighborhoods that are wrapped around that urban area. And so you're going to find a lot of great communities. Down south, you're going to find Moores Mill Golf Club, Grove Hill, East Lake. I could go on and on and on. And I love the south side. The south side is really special in Auburn because it's got its own little community, but what's really neat about the community down there is that it's not just a Publix. It's got a lot of locally owned restaurants and other commercial businesses in the area. And I think that was something very special when I moved to Auburn that I really loved about South Auburn. I was like, it's beautiful down there. It's clean. It's got good sidewalks, good churches, beautiful homes, beautiful neighborhoods with amenities galore, and you're also close to Chihuahua State Park on the south side. You also have the new Lake Wilmore facility, which is an absolute game changer for the south side. You've got great schools. I mean, great schools are kind of all over the place, but the south side, I will say it is pretty, I would call it the more elite area of Auburn. Then you've got places like the north side of town, which is like Camden Ridge. You've got Highlands, you've got Preserve, Woodward Oaks, Ashton Park, Ashton Lakes. I can go on and on here. Tivoli, you name it, Northgate, fantastic neighborhood. And so we have a lot of those neighborhoods on the north side as well. We also have a lot of those local companies that own businesses down on the south side, also own them on the north side as well. So you can get a lot of those amenities. What I like more about the South Auburn area versus the North Auburn community is that the South Auburn community, the commercial district, is very concentrated. And for me, I feel like you can go down there, you can park, and if you needed to walk from Lucy's restaurant or from your business over there, you can walk across the intersection and be at Publix or at a gas station, or you can go down to the Mexican restaurant. So I like the amenities on the south side. I will say it's pretty nice down there. On the north side, you have to get in your car and drive. It's not like a golf cart drive away, so it's a little bit more heavier traffic. We've got a new high school coming to the north side. I'm not trying to be a downer on the north side. I'm a north side person. I live on the north side, but I think that if I had to look at the makeup of this suburban area, I would say the south side's a little bit more accessible, but there's more opportunity for housing on the north side, and that's really where the expansion of Auburn is going. So you can get a little bit more acreage, a little bit more bang for your buck. So the north side really wins when it comes to the cost of housing. Rural acreage area, you could say, Alex, we've lived in the city, we've lived in small towns. We're really just wanting some acreage. We want people to leave us alone. Well, we can absolutely find that just a little bit further outside of that suburban area. As you're going to get more rural area where you're going to find, typical planted pine lots and larger acreage. You'll find some farmlands, some pasture area, some really unique wildlife running around. And you can get that pretty much, you're going to be borderline. You're going to be lucky if you get it in Auburn city limits, but most likely it'll be Auburn rural, or it's going to be in Lee County, Beauregard. Even up north, you can go to Waverly, or you can go out on the west side and go like Notasulga and find more acreage for your money. Because let's be honest, if you look at acreage inside Auburn city limits, it's pretty unreasonable when you look at the pricing. It's up there. It's expensive. I think it's a good investment if you can afford it, but it is something to really consider when you're looking at what is my budget and what type of community do I really want to be in. Maybe you want the small town charm. Let's talk about small town charm. It's something I haven't hit on yet. I love Auburn. I love what they've done, but I think they've lost a lot of their small town charm. And so this is where my recommendation will be for Opelika. Opelika crushes it when we talk about the small town historic charm. I love their historic district. I think they do a great job maintaining the streetscape. Downtown, they've really retained a lot of the character of those buildings and that age of architecture downtown. Think mill, think railroad, think coffee shops, breweries, you name it. Really good food, unique food, great chefs, really cool community on holidays. I love the downtown Opelika area, and Auburn does it well too, but Opelika, I would give it the edge when it comes down to what is the nightlife like for a historic town, and what do those events look like Snopelika. I know they've got their big, I think it's like a whiskey jam or whiskey something. I don't drink, but it's a great place to go. And that downtown, very walkable, sidewalks everywhere. It's got that old historic, the Lee County Courthouse right there in downtown. So that small town charm, I'm going to say Opelika Historic District. Planned unit developments, like if you're thinking like a 55 plus community, National Village is kind of the top tier. That's really kind of sets the pace. It's been around really the longest for 55 plus communities in the area. Technically in Opelika on the north side, just north of the downtown area, you can access it up 280, and great community. They've got beautiful golf courses, good amenities with the Marriott. One thing I do love about National Village is that your landscaping is taken care of by the HOA. You also, within the HOA, you get access to the amenities at the Marriott Hotel. So like the pool and some of the gym inside the spa. And then you also get free range balls all the time. And you can play the par 3 pretty much whenever you want. And that's all included within that HOA package. So National Village really is, I would say, the top tier for the 55 plus communities. And there's several other great ones that if you want to talk about those and those planned unit communities, there's also some at Lake Martin that I would highly suggest as well. If you're thinking about a lake house retirement area up there, there's some good spots to, find some good golf, some good pools, good community, good food, just a little bit of mix and making the right unit, the right community for you. So you just have to decide what's going to be best for you. Step 4 is home features, right? So we want to get to where we've kind of talked about, what's our proximity, what is our access to amenities, what type of, community do we want to have? And then we want to get into the home, because most people we talk to, they're like, Alex, I need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a half-acre and a fence and a primary bathroom on the main floor, and yet they don't tell us what type of area they want to live in first. So that's why we're kind of coming down to home features last, because this is when we finally discover and hone in on the area you want to be in. Because the last thing we want to do is show you a bunch of homes and a bunch of areas you're like, Alex, this is not where I want to be. Yeah, maybe you got the bedrooms right, but not the right area or community. This is not my vibe. So that's why we get the home features last. And, do you need a 4-bedroom? Do you have a growing family? Do you have kids graduating school? Do we need to downsize, right? We need to look at new builds. Do you want to look at resales? What does that really look like for you? Do we want to be on Falls Crest, on the golf course, in the AU club? Or do we want to be in National Village, right? Do we want to be in the 55 plus? Do I want a better community? Or do I need a starter home? Do I need to go to someplace like Northgate where they have great little starter homes for young professionals and also a great rental neighborhood as well? So we've got to talk about what are some of your must-have features, bedrooms, bathrooms, lot size, and style. And so we want to nail down this framework for you and help you make that transition a little easier. So this video is really just about creating clarity around what those steps look like and what our conversation looks like when we have our introductory call, discovery call of helping you make the move to Auburn area. So I appreciate you watching the video today. It's a little bit on the shorter side, but I wanted to just make sure we got this information ahead. And so when you're ready to schedule that meeting time with me or anyone on my team, one of my agent partners, feel free to contact me, shoot me an email. I'd love to schedule a Zoom call with you and get to know you a little bit more. So that's it for this video today and walking through that framework. So I appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week.